seated, members. Yes, honourable members, I will now give my ruling. Honourable members, I have considered the point of order raised by the Honourable Leader of the Opposition this morning, who submits that following the government's announcement that the pension reform measure contained in the budget has been suspended or frozen, further debate on the appropriation bill should be adjourned until such time as revised estimates are tabled before the House. The point of order is founded principally on Standing Order 73-2, which provides that the debate on the second reading of the appropriation bill shall be confined to the general principles of government policy and administration as indicated by the bill and the estimates. The question before the chair, however, is not whether the government has altered one of its announced policies, but whether such alteration empowers the Speaker to suspend or defer the legislative proceedings on the appropriation bill. Standing Order 73-2 regulates the scope of the debate. It does not confer upon the Speaker a discretion to adjourn or defer consideration of the appropriation bill because of a subsequent change in government policy. Nor does it require that every policy announced in the budget speech remain unchanged throughout the legislative process. Whether government should amend its proposals, revise the estimates, introduce supplementary measures, or explain its change of policy is a matter for the executive, subject to the scrutiny and control of this House through the parliamentary procedures available to members. The chair cannot compel the government to amend its budget proposals unless the standing orders or another law expressly so provides, which is not the case. If the suspension of the pension policy has legal or financial consequences affecting the appropriation bill or the estimates, it is open to the government, if it deems necessary, to introduce the appropriate amendments. In that regard, I thank the Honourable Attorney General because his interpretation of the relevant provisions of the standing orders and the Constitution is quite correct. Accordingly, the Chair finds no procedural basis under Standing Order 73-2 or any other standing order for directing that the debate on the appropriation bill be deferred. I thank you. Yes, Honourable Prime Minister.
Yes, Madam Speaker. As we conclude this debate, let me first of all thank all the honourable members who have contributed to this important national exercise. I've listened to what they have said, and I will try to respond to some of the main points raised. This budget was never intended to be an exercise in political convenience. It was designed as an exercise of national responsibility, Madam Speaker. Ce budget repose sur une conviction simple. Un gouvernement responsable ne peut pas partir sur du sable mouvant et des illusions. Il doit d'abord regarder la réalité en face. Madam Speaker, when this government assumed office, we were confronted with an economy, I could say, in intensive care. As Honourable Minister Shakil Mohammed said at the very beginning of his speech, very often people don't do that. You must always look at things in its context, even historical things, in the context of the time that you must look at it. when as I said, we were in a terrible mess. Growing fiscal pressures, rising debt obligations, broken down engines of growth, and galloping inflation. Inflation reached even 11.37% when they were in office. When we mention, when we talk about debt, as you said in the context, who remembers what are the interests we are paying on debt 2025, 2026? What was the interest? You know how much it was? 26.9 billion rupees just on interest. Nearly 27 billion. Just on interest because of the mess they did. We have to pay the interest on that debt, which we're trying to correct gradually. Faced with these challenges, we had no choice. We could also continue to postpone difficult decisions, risk a downgrade, and leave the burden to the future generations. Or we could, as we did, act with courage and honesty, and this is what we did. Malheureusement, Madame la Présidente, nous avons subi les affres d'une stratégie de déni chez certains qui ne veulent pas voir la vérité en face et de démagogie chez d'autres. Ils ne veulent pas voir les données objectives, les finances, la situation du fonds de pension et le risque de faillite à court, moyen et long terme. C'est pourquoi nous avons placé ce budget sous le signe du devoir de la vérité. Le devoir de vérité sur l'état de nos finances publiques, sur les défis auxquels notre économie est confrontée, sur les décisions qu'il nous appartient de prendre aujourd'hui pour protéger les générations de demain. Car gouverner, c'est avant tout avoir le courage de dire ce qui est avant de promettre ce qui sera. Gouverner, Madame la Présidente, c'est renforcer les institutions, c'est promouvoir la confiance et la transparence, assurer la crédibilité du pays et créer les conditions pour plus d'investissement et de développement économique. La vérité aujourd'hui est le prix de la prospérité de demain. We refuse to mortgage the future of our children and grandchildren. Nous aurions pu, Madame la Présidente, choisir la facilité. Très facile. J'aurais pu aussi imprimer des billets, 1 milliard. Mais ce n'est pas notre conception de la responsabilité publique, ni même de la responsabilité tout court. Madam Speaker, last year's budget marked the beginning of a necessary reconstructive drive, a first step to stabilize the economy, strengthen the social fabric, and rebuild our public finances. Budget 2026-2027 sets out the next chapter, a chapter defined by reconstruction, by reform, and social justice. But let me be candid about the inheritance we faced. When this government assumed office, as the House is aware, the Ministry of Finance, under the leadership of the then acting finance secretary, now he's financial secretary, undertook a comprehensive assessment of the economic and fiscal situation, the findings of which were published in the State of the Economy report. With regard to the state of the economy, in November 2024, I need to remind the House that no one described the unprecedented state of precariousness left by the previous government better than the former Deputy Prime Minister. And I quote, il y a un désordre budgétaire total. En vérité, il n'y a plus de budget. Il y a des fonds spéciaux partout, une banque centrale qui n'était plus une banque centrale, mais une planche à billets, crime commis par Pravin Jagnat et son complice Pagliacci, le mess qu'ils nous ont laissé, ne va pas prendre un mois pour redresser. Cela demande 1 an, 2 ans, 3 ans, 4 ans, 5 ans. It's going to be difficult, unquote. And he was right, totally right. That is why I said once that it will take more than a mandate to bring this country back. This is what I said. The official report was clear. Fiscal space was severely constrained. The budget deficit was higher than published, and it was rising, jeopardizing the long-term sustainability of our economy. And public debt was even much higher. The public investment pipeline had become fragmented and inefficient. There were gaps in social protection that left some of our citizens exposed precisely at the moment when they most needed support. That diagnosis is not partisan politics. These are hard economic facts. In the face of these multiple challenges, last year's budget set the direction. Keep the economy and businesses afloat, protect the most vulnerable, stabilize public finances and macroeconomic fundamentals. I heard earlier the former Deputy Prime Minister say, la marge de manœuvre du gouvernement est plus grande. Oui, c'était vrai. Et c'est parce que nous avons pris les mesures qu'il fallait dans le premier budget. We have improved the situation. Mais the trend, the trajectory of the debt, the public deficit were going down. They were in a downward trend. However, 2 factors came into play afterwards. The Chagos deal, we haven't got yet the 10 billion rupees that we were expecting, that we budgeted for. That's a gap of 10 billion. Plus the war in the Middle East. When the Deputy Prime Minister says about the fuel that we could have brought down, we did bring down the fuel at the beginning. Not by as much as we said, but we did. As much as we could. Because nobody knew exactly what was the position. But now when I'm speaker with the war in the Middle East, the STC, the debt for the STC, when we came in November 2024, it was 3.4 billion rupees. We tried to bring it down. Even though we brought the price of fuel down, the debt came down to 2.4 billion rupees, from 3.4 to 2.4. In February 2026, Madam Speaker, we brought that deficit to 1.5 billion rupees. However, with the war in the Middle East, prices went up again, and again, the debt increased here. Because we had already brought the fuel down a little bit. The debt now is 3.32 billion rupees. So how can we responsibly say we'll bring down the cost of fuel and more gas and all that, and gas oil? Even for gas, there is a disruption in the market. When they bombed Qatar, they bombed actually the factory that was producing gas. There is a lack of supply for gas. So inevitably, Madam Speaker, and I must say, perhaps many people don't realize, even though I'm saying all this, the price of more gas and gas oil in Mauritius is lower, comparing in terms of rupees, than UK, lower than France, lower than Comoros, lower than South Africa, lower than Seychelles, and lower than La Réunion. It's not comparable. In spite of the difficulties, we have been able to do that. The geopolitical headwind, with that, the economic indicators are moving in spite of that. are still moving in the right direction. Employment has begun to recover in critical sectors. Inflationary pressures have been brought down under better control, but as the former Deputy Prime Minister indicated, it is bound to go up again because we import everything in dollars. Not everything, but nearly everything. Economic diplomacy is now an important component of our development strategy. As I said last Friday, Madam Speaker, we have returned our country to its rightful place on the international arena. From New Delhi to Paris, from Tokyo to Addis, from Nairobi to Mahe. And I heard the opposition whip say that we could have done otherwise. I think he said, I'm trying to find out, he said that we don't need to travel. You can do it by, you say, email and video conferences. You miss the point completely. If people are like you at the helm of this country, we go down again in diplomacy. Mauritius is back with meaningful relationships and economic benefits for the nation. For economic diplomacy, it is the personal contact that is important. You meet these leaders, you talk to them, you see what can be done between us. That is what is important. That is what makes us punch above our weight, Madam Speaker. Not by email or by video conference. So this will never work, never. And let me say to the opposition whip, we are a small country. Compared to other countries, we're small. International volatility persists. Daunting challenges remain. And that is what we are trying to respond to, Madam Speaker. The 2026-27 budget is not a break from the strategy that was established last year. But we have to take corrective measures automatically because of the two reasons I've just given you. It is in fact a logical continuation and an unflinching commitment to further progress. At the heart of this lies three interrelated priorities. First, diversify and shape a future-ready economy. Two, a strengthened commitment to social justice. And three, fiscal consolidation to create space for priority investment. And let me speak, since we were speaking of I want to tackle this problem as well, to come up to that. We speak directly to our elderly citizens. I know that the pension is not just a line in the budget. We all know. It is not just a monthly payment. It is security. It is dignity. It is recognition. It is the result of a lifetime of work, sacrifice, and contribution to our country. I understand the anxiety that was expressed, that many elderly citizens were worried. There were a lot of misinformation as well, lots of misinformation. Families were asking questions. People wanted clarity, fairness, and reassurance. And in a democracy, Madam Speaker, when people speak, they're worried, they want clarification. A responsible government must listen. As again, Honorable Shakil Mohammed said, the previous government, the MSM, never responded. Never, they couldn't give a damn. Could I say that word? I don't know. They didn't respond to public demand, outcry. But we listened, we heard the concerns, we took the concerns seriously, and we decided to discard the means test because of that. But listening doesn't mean abandoning the truth. Listening doesn't mean pretending that the problem has actually disappeared. It hasn't. The problem remains. The demographic pressure remains. The fiscal pressure remains. The need for reform remains. What has to change is the method. This is our responsibility. The real choice before the country is not between reform and comfort. That choice does not exist. The real choice is between a controlled reform today or a brutal crisis tomorrow. The choice is between reform today or collapse tomorrow. Ce qui m'amène d'aborder, Madame la Présidente, cette mesure qui a suscité plus de débats depuis vendredi, c'est-à-dire la réforme de la pension dont je parle. Let me remind the House that in its bid to win the 2019 general elections, the former government announced on the 1st of October, look at the dates, just prior to the election, October 2019, that they will increase the monthly basic retirement pension from 9,000 rupees to 13,500 rupees, without any consideration whatsoever on the sustainability of such a decision. They knew, they had reports upon reports. I will quote Pravin Jangath in a minute. They knew that the pension system was already unsustainable. Unsustainable, for many people who don't understand English, means insoutenable. Because some people don't understand what unsustainable means. They knew this, but to win the election, they put the country at risk, they put the elderly at risk, they couldn't give a damn, they need to win the election. As Honorable Bhagwan said, they were desperate to keep on, to stay in power so that they can continue with the state capture as they did before, all the time. And in its 2020 budget, they discontinued the contributory pension under the National Pension Fund and introduced the CSG, which is a tax. Honorable Goulet has said that many times. It is a tax just to finance their electoral promise. This is how they fool the people. Sometimes people don't realize they get money, they think that's it. Whether the money is devalued, as long as they got the money. In doing so, the MSM-led government simply destroyed the pension system by abolishing contributions to the National Pension Fund, established, I remind the House, since 1976 by the father of the nation, Sir Sagaram Gulam. They destroyed it because this was the cornerstone for our retirement system at the time. And worse, Madam Speaker, most of the funds raised under the CSG has in fact been siphoned off and diverted to finance expenditure, but not pensions. This is what they did with the money of workers, of people who have worked all these lives. These people are giving us lessons now. They destroyed the system and they're telling us in a parliamentary question on the 24th of October 2023. Look at what the then Minister of Finance, Padiachi, conceded. I quote, il ne reste donc rien par rapport aux contributions de la CSG. I think Honorable Ademia also mentioned it. Finished, all the money is gone. Whose money is it? Pensions for the elderly, pensions for the workers, gone overnight. Je comprends donc, Madame la Présidente, les préoccupations exprimées par nos concitoyens. La pension de vieillesse n'est pas un transfert, simple transfert financier. Elle représente un contrat social et c'est précisément parce que nous souhaitons préserver ce contrat social que nous avons été contraints d'agir. Les projections démographiques sont sans équivoque. Notre population vieillit rapidement et c'est fact. Le nombre de bénéficiaires de la pension augmente chaque année, alors que la population active qui finance ce système, it is the taxpayer who is financing the system. That means everybody. Mais là, les bénéficiaires progressent beaucoup plus, les actifs progressent beaucoup plus lentement. Maintenir indéfiniment le modèle actuel nous aurait conduit à terme à une situation où l'État ne serait plus en mesure d'assumer durablement ses engagements sans compromettre le financement de la santé, de l'éducation, des infrastructures, housing project. We said the other day, I said it. The cost for the pension system as it is, because of their irresponsibility, is costing more than the budget for health, the budget for education, and the budget for social housing. More. Can you imagine what that means? For health itself, it's nearly 18 billion rupees. And it's costing more, this pension. Let me remind the House that the concern about the sustainability of the old age pension is not something new. This has been talked on for decades, more than 2 decades. But no one had the courage to bail the cat. No one. As far back as in the budget speech presented in 2003 by our friend Honorable Paul Béranger, this is what he stated. And he's right, this is why I'm quoting. The BRP in its present form exerts severe pressure on the budget. The fast aging of the population will render the BRP unsustainable in the long term. According to projections, the proportion of those over 60 will double in 20 years' time and triple in the next 50 years. Reform of the BRP has thus become urgent. And it goes on to say, equally urgent, because sometimes people don't look at this, equally urgent is the need to reform the other pillars of the Mauritian pension system, namely the national pension scheme, the civil service pensions, and private pensions. I quote. Permettez-moi, Madame la Présidente, aussi de citer ce qu'a dit l'ancien Premier ministre Pravin Jagnnath lors d'une cérémonie marquant les 40 ans de Old Age Pensioners Association en juin 2016. Je cite, c'est en créole, mais je peux citer, je pense. Par rapport avec Basic Retirement Pension, et un tu peux gagner 100 000, 200 000 roupies par mois. Zot aussi peut toucher sa pension, 5 000 roupies de pension vieillesse, including his dad. Est-ce qu'il y a un système bon? Est-ce qu'il y a un système bon? He's asking the question. So he knows. Yeah, this is what they did. Totally irresponsible what they did. And we're paying the price today. Notre responsabilité n'est pas seulement envers les retraités d'aujourd'hui. Elle est également envers les retraités de demain et envers les générations qui auront à financer ce système. Gouverner, Madame la Présidente, c'est d'avoir le courage de prendre les décisions difficiles afin d'éviter des conséquences encore plus douloureuses dans l'avenir. Gouverner, c'est aussi savoir entendre et comprendre les préoccupations de nos concitoyens. Not everybody is an economist, and even economists don't understand. Comme l'a si bien dit un éditorialiste, dans une démocratie, il est sain qu'un exécutif entende les inquiétudes de ceux qu'il gouverne. Depuis la semaine dernière, de nombreuses voix se sont exprimées sur la question de la pension. Nous avons pris pleinement en considération les attentes et les inquiétudes de la population. Et c'est dans cet esprit d'écoute que le gouvernement a décidé d'abandonner la mise en œuvre du means testing. Comme je l'ai dit dans ma réponse au private notice question du leader de l'opposition, the means testing is out. Il n'y aura pas de means testing. Pourquoi? Et des gens nous ont dit, d'ailleurs dans notre proposition, a dit, changez la somme, mettez à ça 100 000 ou 200 000. Bonne suggestion, mais impraticable, parce que qu'est-ce qui se passe? If we do this, it touches a very small percentage of people. The difference is zero. That is why the IMF, the World Bank, and all these people are saying our pension system is unsustainable. It would have been better if we could have done this, but with what result? It means, in fact, you don't reform. It's touching very few people. And you know, Madam Speaker, without being disparaging to others, but people who have a lot of money, they know how to duck the system. They have ways and means. Look at our friend Kugan said the other day about dividends. I'm the one who introduced dividends against advice. Everybody was against. But I said we have to tax dividends. The argument was dividends are already taxed. So why are you taxing again? But I said no. They can afford, let's tax. I must tell you, I'm practical. You have to be pragmatic. When we look at the results, they found ways and means of evading the system. We got very little. So the offshore is complaining and we're getting very little. That's why we remove it. Not because we're not socialists, but because we saw that we are annoying a lot of people with little result. Madam Speaker, following the elimination of the means testing for the state age pension, government has immediately, since day one, initiated a number of measures to cover for the higher expected expenditure, so that we can bring down the budget deficit and the public sector debt. These include, first, a committee has already been established under the chairmanship of the Secretary to the Cabinet to look into, we must reprioritize the implementation of capital projects. We must find the money one way or the other, while also ensuring that economic growth is not adversely affected. Second, a committee at the level of the Ministry of Finance will examine the expenditure of each ministry. You know, every year we see that director of it says the same things, overspending there, wastage there, everything. And then the year after, we hear the same thing. Now we have put a deputy financial secretary to chair that committee. He will look at every detail of spending and ask questions before it comes to the end when the director of audit will make his report. Third, Madam Speaker, as already mentioned, a high-level committee has been set up for a fundamental review of our tax system, because we want to enhance its fairness, its efficiency, and also international competitiveness. Today, people move money out. Press a button on the internet and you move money out. This committee, including tax experts, will be supported by the IMF and other international experts, and will start, I believe, they will start work in the coming days. Fourth, the Ministry of Finance is exploring the disposal of selected non-strategic assets, as well as the potential listing of certain state-owned enterprises on the stock exchange, again with a view to unlocking value and monetizing its shareholdings. And fifth, with regard to the CSG contribution, I must say, Madam Speaker, we have to be absolutely candid. It was envisaged that in this budget, that is from the 1st of July 2027, these contributions would be transferred to individual accounts of all workers in the new National Pensions and Provident Fund that we were proposing. Now, with what we have done, we will have to reconsider, and it will have to be done in a phased way, not directly on the 1st of July. It will have to be phased out. Furthermore, Madam Speaker, I will myself chair a steering committee on public sector efficiency to identify areas of duplication, inefficiency, and wastage. Every ministry and department will now have to submit to that committee a concrete plan how they intend to improve efficiency without naturally compromising service delivery. And that will also include parastatal bodies under the aegis of different ministries. Madam Speaker, this budget is not only about balancing accounts. It is about balancing responsibility with ambition, prudence with opportunity, reform with compassion. It is a budget that asks us to look beyond immediate political considerations and to focus instead on the long-term interests of our nation. Despite the headwinds, Madam Speaker, we have put our economy firmly on the path of recovery. We have embarked on a journey of growth anchored on the 6 pillars that I mentioned in my speech last week. I don't want to repeat them. One member of the opposition has claimed, I think it was again the opposition whip, that AI is just a tool. Yeah, I think the former DPM also mentioned, oh, he was the leader of the opposition. I'm sorry. The leader of opposition, there are so many leaders of the opposition now. Everybody, even my friend Babula wants to become leader of the opposition. He claimed that AI is just a tool and he doesn't understand why we have put so much emphasis on it in this budget. Laissez-moi, Madame la Présidente, citer l'ancien Premier ministre français, Gabriel Attal. Sur sa page Internet, récemment, il a écrit, je cite, « Si on rate la révolution de l'IA, les enfants auront le choix entre servir du café aux Américains ou bien du thé aux Chinois. This is what they have to do. Because there will be nothing else. » Et les candidats aussi. Je ne sais pas si ça va l'aider ou non, je ne sais pas. For Mauritius, integrating AI, there is legitimacy in people asking questions. Very legitimate, because there are dangers with AI. That is why we put the safeguards here, and we're learning from other countries as well, I must say. But integrating AI decisively into our reconstruction agenda, for us, it is not optional, it is strategic. Our purpose is to use AI to amplify on our human capital, accelerate productivity, and it will accelerate productivity, and attract quality investment. And at the same time, to make our governance and social provisions smarter, more efficient, and more inclusive. By next year, Madam Speaker, I mentioned it in my speech, we will have enabled 50,000 Mauritians in practical AI use. This budget, Madam Speaker, unleashes the potential of the blue economy through ocean research, fisheries, aquaculture, and seaweed farming. Oceanic research is a growing sector in its own right. Will drive marine innovation and jobs. Local fish production should increase. We're expecting it from 5,000 tons to 15,000 tons over the next 3 years. Madam Speaker, we firmly believe that the SMEs are the backbone of our economy. It is the backbone of all economies. This is why we have provided direct, specific support to strengthen their capacity through new legislation schemes and a more conducive environment for all businesses by addressing investment constraints, streamlining planning licenses, and permits delivery. We have put this silent agreement back. It was there when we were in government. These people from the MSM, I don't know why. I can't tell you why. They've removed it. They have put it back. There are too many people who complain that they have to queue here, to queue there, to get one permit. Even the artists have been saying this to me. It should be a one-stop shop and it should be clear. Now we're putting the silent agreement. If you don't get it in time, assume you've got it. That is what we're doing. At the same time, we have created the conditions to attract foreign talents, skills, and capital. This includes a startup revolution supported by access to affordable finance, digital tools, and targeted schemes, which will give a boost to that sector. We have already started work at the Special Economic Zone at Côte d'Or. It will be a major game changer in our economic architecture. This will open vast opportunities for our entrepreneurs and other businesses to embrace technology. At the same time, importantly, it will attract billions of rupees of new FDI, create thousands of highly paid jobs, raise productivity and reboot the manufacturing and export sectors, and improve, therefore, our external balance. We have been, when I went to the AI Summit, I mentioned it last time, I had seen just before that Google is doing a submarine cable connecting America to India and then to the Far East. I spoke to Prime Minister Modi. I said, since you're doing this, we are doing it together. We have all the infrastructure here. Make it possible, Mauritius. He spoke to the CEO of Google in India straight away. And they're working on it. I think it will be done, but I don't want to say more because they need to see whether we have all the infrastructure here or not. We have set ourselves the objective to double export of goods to the United States, $3 billion over the next 3 years. Ambitious, I agree, but achievable if we work hand in hand together. At the same time, we are modernizing our banking and financial services, we are adapting our tourism sector to new trends. I mentioned this, and the tourism sector is doing very well with the war. The Seychelles had a dip in the tourist arrivals. The Maldives had a dip. We know Dubai had a dip. But Mauritius were very, very slightly affected, very slightly. Besides the special economic zone, this budget paves the way to a game-changing economic infrastructure program with a total value of more than 70 billion rupees, so that the country improve its connectivity and develop the high-quality physical infrastructure required to support its economic ambitions at the port, at the airport, on the road. You know, we get some very high-praised tourists, CEOs and all this. One of the complaints is using the internet, there's no connection. You say you're a modern country, but you don't get connection. Worse, the previous government cut the connections. At the same time, Madam Speaker, we have embarked on 4 flagship projects that I set up last week, already set up. This budget advances renewable energy and the energy transition in line with our target of 60% energy mix by 2035. And I said, I'm restarting the Mogisil Jura project, which was under Minister Osman Mohamed at the time with Professor Joel Dorone. And they did it fantastic. We had a lot of praise for that. We had reached, Madam Speaker, believe it or not, we had achieved 23.4% in renewable energy under Mogisil Jura. What did the MSM government? I don't know, maybe because we set it up, because they have this obsession with me, especially. Even when I was in the parliament, they were talking about me, keeping me alive. They had cancelled Mogisil Jura. Okay, you don't want Osman Mohamed, you throw him out. You don't want Joel Dorone, Professor Joel Dorone, throw him out. But continue with the project. They just canceled the project. With the result, from 23.4% that we had achieved in renewable energy, it came down to 17% only. So 10 wasted years. 10 wasted years. Now we have to restart. It also strengthens food production capacity so that more value is created locally and more opportunities are open for Mauritians. We have earmarked 6.4 billion rupees over the next three years to improve water access. And the work is already started. It costs a lot of money. We're getting help from India. We have to change these pipes, leaking pipes. Madam Speaker, development policies centered around macroeconomic indicators are meaningless if they do not focus on families, which is the bedrock of a prosperous society. It is therefore first and foremost about families who must eat, who must live healthy lives, parents who must educate their children, and a population that must feel secure. This is why we have placed the strengthening of the social compact at the center of our reconstruction efforts. Mettre l'humain au centre du développement. That is what we are doing. That is why we have increased the combined budget of the 2 ministries looking after education by 2.6 billion rupees. We want to ensure that each child lives up to his full potential, his or her full potential, through literacy and numeracy program foundation courses, provision of textbooks. We've heard before. Exams are starting and children don't have the textbook yet. And exams are starting. And then they cut the internet, they can't even look at the programs on the internet. This is the criminal negligence that this previous government did. And we're also upgrading learning environment by providing 824 million for improvement and expansion of infrastructure and amenities. At the same time, we are reintroducing the NICE project. NICE stands for National Initiative for Civic Education. So that our youth, I had started it. Again, I suppose because I started it, they canceled it. I brought, not anyone, a military man from Singapore. Why I brought a stranger? Because you know how it is here. This one will go and say, this mister, you know, my child is not well, can't follow that course. No, everybody has to follow that course. Unless really you're not well, you can't. To instill discipline in our youth. Show them how living in a multicultural society is supposed to be. Respect for each other, respect for the religions, about the need to know how to save water and energy. In fact, about the needs of the true values of life. This is what we want our youth to know. It's very important. Otherwise, the mentality has to change. Madam Speaker, a prosperous nation is a healthy nation. This is why we will continue to prioritize the provision of free but high quality and accessible healthcare throughout recruitment, training, and investment in our healthcare infrastructure. That is why Honorable Bichu, the Minister for Healthcare, we have agreed. You know, one of the complaints, the other day I was telling him, I met a consultant from India, first time in Mauritius. He gave a lecture the other day. And he tells me, you can't understand. Why are you spending so many millions to send people to India for treatment when these consultants can come here and do these very operations for a much lesser cost? And Honorable Bichu knows in that also there's a mafia operating. This is the mentality that we have to change. We're talking about health of people, very ill people. That is why they have to go abroad. Now these consultants will be able to come here. We're signing an MOU. I will mention it to Prime Minister Modi when I meet him in the weekend. And so that this can be moved forward. And for a more efficient health service, the administration of hospitals will be carried out by managers who are trained in human resource management. I always say that to my friend, Anil Bichu. I think you have a son who is a doctor as well, who works in America. In America, doctors don't run hospitals. Doctors are supposed to look after patients while they're running hospitals. This is not the job. You have to run hospitals by management, modern management. And this is what we're going to do here. You've seen the wastage. You've seen ordering medicine by huge stocks, then they become outdated, throw them away, order new medicine. We've seen what has happened during the COVID pandemic. Ventilators that were ordered, they paid millions, Pak and Mister. And they paid the money and the equipment doesn't work. So somebody has taken some money somewhere. That is why this was done. We're not born yesterday. And we are going to find out. It's taking time because we need evidence, but we are getting evidence. We want to reverse the downward trend we saw in life expectancy and healthy life expectancy, which is even more important. It's no point somebody lives up to 90, but the quality of life is poor. This is what our citizens endured up to 2024, Madam Speaker. This is why gender remains the focus of our endeavors. Because women entrepreneurship, empowerment, protection, and improved childcare services and protection ensures that growth reaches the wider society, increasing maternity leave. We know there has been some criticism of that, and paternity leave to 12 months and 6 months respectively, but it is an undertaking we took in our manifesto. It's in our manifesto. I know there has been some criticism, but we are looking at it, but this is what it should be. This is why, Madam Speaker, the budget provides for infrastructure for 8,000 social housing projects to start with, mixed income housing projects on privately owned land, and 1,000 housing units for middle income families. And Honorable Shakil Mohammed spoke to me about this problem that you see. I've also seen it during the election. Houses that are built, again, Anguille sous roche, as if do the work and see who got the contracts. People are close to them. That nobody talked about. I mean, on the side of the opposition, not behind this opposition.
Many oppositions.
Only two of them. Because a decent home is the foundation of dignity. We have to make it a reality for every low and middle income household. Our commitment to address the law and order situation, Madam Speaker, is unwavering. We know when we came, I was saying it myself, there was no law and order. There were areas where the police could not go. Drug was being sold everywhere. I don't say it has stopped. It hasn't stopped yet. I'm the first, it's not worse, but I'm the first to admit. There are certain sections, but we have a limited police force. They're doing what they can. But this, and another thing I want to stress, the police force must be respected. They deserve respect. We will not tolerate people attacking the policemen or policewomen. This cannot be tolerated. They represent the state, the security for our citizens. They need to be protected. This budget provides for tightening border controls as well. It equips our enforcement agencies with the tools, the technology, and the training they need. The setting up of a new national crime agency in the very near future will allow an integrated, intelligence-led, and multi-agency response to serious and organized crime, including financial crimes, cybercrime, money laundering, drug trafficking, and corruption. Madam Speaker, I know there will be criticisms, I know. But we need to have people who know how to tackle the problem. Today, you know what is happening? Before you arrest somebody, somebody knows, already knows. And we know what happened under the previous regime. Planting occurred. Not once, not twice. You speak against the government, they'll plant something in your house. Even if there's nothing in your house, they will plant it. Madam Speaker, this National Crime Agency will revolutionize policing in Mauritius. At the end of the day, we've seen what has happened with the Christian case. The cover-up. Look at the report of the judgment of the magistrate. Very courageous. And we now have evidence that there was cover-up. It was murder. We have that much. They've destroyed a lot of evidence. That is why it's taking a longer time. Much of evidence is destroyed. But I hope we'll come to the bottom of this. This budget supports a whole of society response to the drug problem, bringing together the police, the customs, coast guards, social workers, educators, health professionals, and civil society. We want everybody to be on board. It cannot just be a problem for government or for the opposition. It should not be partisan. Everybody should be on board. Government, Madam Speaker, is also investing to improve early detection in schools. We know what is happening in workplaces, expand awareness campaigns, and ensure that rehabilitation is an integral part of national security. We need to combat this scourge of drugs It has to be relentless. Madam Speaker, climate risk is costly. We need to mitigate climate risk and protect the assets that sustain livelihood. That is why we have scaled investments in renewable energy, in coastal protection, and climate-resilient infrastructure. My good friend, Minister Bhagwan mentioned, we know this, but I've seen it with my eyes. The erosion of the coastline. This is why we put money in that. We have to fight this. We have to prevent it. This budget also gives a place of high prominence to adapting to climate change and mitigating its impact. We scale up, as I said, investment in renewable energy, coastal protection, but also climate resilient infrastructure. We're also investing with an aim to reducing future disaster costs and protecting the assets that sustain livelihoods. Madam Speaker, as regards our policies on fiscal consolidation and good governance, on the revenue side, I've stated in my budget speech, I've just stated it, a high-level committee will be set up under the aegis of the Ministry of Finance to review our tax system to improve its fairness and efficiency. On the expenditure side, government continues to prioritize public investment in projects that catalyze private sector activity, create jobs, and build resilience. At the same time, we will introduce stronger performance frameworks to ensure that every rupee spent delivers value for the citizens. As I said, Madam Speaker, when the market fails, government has to intervene and lead. This is precisely why we have established the Purchasing Power Shield to bring about a reduction in the prices of major basic consumer products. The budget has provided for the State Trading Corporation to bulk purchase and sell essential goods, consumer goods with capped profit margins. Now, I must say, Madam Speaker, I'm always a bit worried about price control. It doesn't really work very often. But we're talking about big economies. This is a small economy. Many times you see collaboration between different sectors to keep the prices up. This is what you've seen it with the meat. Yeah, he was involved in that. This is why we're providing a budget for the State Trading Corporation. We have also provided a further 2 billion rupees this year for the Price Stabilization Fund and a series of subsidies on strategic consumer products. The intention is to lower living costs of consumers, especially again for the low and the middle income families. They are the ones who get squeezed. It is not enough for a nation to grow. The question is whether everyone in the middle class, the low-income group, the women, the young, and the vulnerable can share in that growth. It's no point growing and you leave behind half of the population. This budget answers that question with a commitment to compassion, to equity, and practical support. Allow me now, Madam Speaker, to say a few words about implementation. I think a couple of people mentioned it, and rightly so. The best policy is as good as its implementation. I am therefore making 3 commitments that will guide our actions in the coming year. First, transparency and accountability. We will publish quarterly performance reports on the budget's key indicators. Not easy for us, but we will do it, and open major programs of evaluations to independent review. Second, participation. We will expand consultations with stakeholders to fine-tune implementation and to ensure that programs reflect local realities. Third, we will adhere to the disciplined fiscal path while preserving its flexibility to protect the vulnerable, but to ensure that public sector investments are with high economic returns. Madam Speaker, this budget speaks to the future generations. The choices we make today become the conditions our children and grandchildren will inherit. That is why fiscal policy must be responsible, forward-looking, and sustainable. A people-centered budget cannot be short-sighted. It must invest in resilience, in human capital, infrastructure, environmental sustainability, and strong institutions. It must ensure that today's progress does not become tomorrow's burden. It must protect the future from waste, from neglect, and unsustainable choices. We will be judged by future generations, Madam Speaker, not only by what we have built, but also with what we have preserved. Did we leave a stronger economy, a fairer society, a cleaner environment, and better opportunities? Did we act with foresight and discipline? Did we choose the long-term national interest over short-term convenience? This budget, Madam Speaker, answers those questions by seeking to balance immediate needs, but with a long-term vision with lasting responsibility. It is a reminder that public finance is not only about the present, it is about the inheritance we leave behind. We must also give hope. We must ensure that we give hope. Allow me to highlight how we have put people first in that budget. For students, this budget is a message of confidence. It says that their education is not an expense to be managed, but an investment to be protected. It says that the country believes in their potential and is willing to support their journey from learning to leadership. For women, the budget is about fairness and empowerment. The Deputy Prime Minister mentioned in detail what we're doing. Too often, they carry a heavier burden than their fair share. Women, balancing work and care, ambition and responsibility, opportunity and constraint. For families and consumers, the central question is simple. Does this budget actually make your life more manageable? For every measure of adjustment, there is a measure of investment. For every reform, Madam Speaker, there is a vision. For every challenge, there is an opportunity. History will not judge us by the ease of our decisions. It will judge us by whether we have the courage to make the right decisions when the circumstances demanded it. The Mauritius we seek to build is one that is more innovative, more productive, more inclusive, and more resilient. A Mauritius where young people can find opportunities at home. They will not want to stay abroad. I'm happy to say that for the first time, people of the diaspora are coming here to work. That is a very good sign. Where businesses, big, medium, small, even micro businesses, they must be able to thrive and create jobs. Where public institutions are stronger, independent, and more efficient. Public institutions, without them, there can be no state. It's chaos. And this is what has happened. Where economic progress goes hand in hand, it must go hand in hand with social justice. A Mauritius which is open to the world and which attracts further investment. What I have just mentioned is the best way that we can to create conditions to be able to support those at the lower rung of the ladder. Madame la Présidente, permettez-moi à ce stade de répondre à quelques points soulevés par quelques membres. Enfin, j'ai déjà répondu sur la pension, mais malheureusement, l'opposition a choisi de se focaliser sur le thème de la pension pour des buts purement politiques. Le leader de l'opposition reconnaît lui-même. Lui-même, il a reconnu que le budget comprend des mesures positives. Et you know what the saying, chasser le naturel, il revient au galop. Il s'est cantonné, comme tant d'autres d'ailleurs au sein de l'opposition, de une litanie de propos démagogiques et dépourvus de bon sens et de sérieux. It would seem that he is a great fan of Gabbar Singh. He chose to quote what Gabbar Singh said in Shirley. Gabbar Singh is back with him. Madam Speaker, I don't believe in Gabbar Singh. I prefer Lord Krishna. And I quote from the Mahabharata, Kam Keha, do your duty. Is it a coincidence that the first comment of the opposition whip, first comment he made relates to the renovation of Clary's house? He said, you don't have money and you're renovating it. Clarice House is the national heritage, a building built in the 19th century, if I'm not mistaken. The MSM government allowed it to go down, decay. Go and see the work. Actually, the NBC showed it. Probably you didn't see it, was happy hour. It's him. I agree with you there. I agree with you. It's him. His government. We cannot allow a national heritage to just crumble. It's already going to cost us money. By the way, what is put in the budget? For the first year, it's not going to be 400 million now. Yeah. If we don't renovate it now, it will be extensive work. It will cost more. Madame Speaker, certains ont parlé d'incertitude et d'anxiété des ménages dans ce budget, mais ils ne se rendent pas compte que la vraie incertitude, la vraie anxiété, c'est la viabilité du système de pension, d'une faillite annoncée du fonds des pensions par leur irresponsabilité. Si rien n'est fait aujourd'hui, on se dirige directement vers la disparition de toute forme de pension. In 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, nobody will get a pension if we don't do what we're doing now. Avant même, tu as raison. C'est le cas, Madame Speaker, qu'en réponse au vœu du chef du MSM, parce qu'il a un vœu de retourner. Le peuple lui a posé des questions. Allez voir sur Facebook. Je vais citer. Comment pouvez-vous comprendre? Il ne pas comprendre qu'il ne peut pas les retourner? Some people said, quand tu peux aller bail, mais tout encore?
Don't quote these.
Don't quote, okay.
Because there are so many of them.
Yes. I just want.
Negative.
You're right.
Yes.
It will be too long. Yeah.
No, don't.
Madame Speaker, ce budget ne réduit pas notre ambition nationale. Il lui donne une fondation solide. Il protège les plus vulnérables. Il soutient les travailleurs et accompagne les entrepreneurs. Il le fait avec discipline, avec responsabilité, avec une vision de long terme. Certains ont parlé de reculade, alors qu'ils sont eux-mêmes coupables d'avoir acté la démagogie pour entraîner une reculade. Ils ont voulu instaurer un climat de doute et de confiance. Ils veulent faire perdre le sens de notre responsabilité financière sans considération aucune pour ce que peut devenir l'avenir du pays. Nous avons fait preuve d'écoute comme dans tous les pays démocratiques. Comme un gouvernement responsable, nous avons un devoir de responsabilité financière. Nous avons l'obligation de protéger ce pays. En fin de compte, protéger le peuple d'une faillite morale et c'est protéger l'avenir. Madame Speaker, nous condamnons la légèreté d'analyse et de réflexion de ces individus qui connaissent bien la situation, mais par démagogie. Ils sont bien au courant des dangers. Ils connaissent les indicateurs et surtout qu'ils connaissent les conséquences d'une politique économique débridée basée sur un populisme mensonger. Nous refusons ce repli sur le clientélisme électoral alors que l'avenir du pays est en jeu. Le risque est grand. Ils peuvent nous faire subir des conséquences désastreuses aux générations à venir si rien n'est fait au niveau des finances de l'État. Je le répète, une croissance durable ne peut exister sans stabilité économique. Une justice sociale durable ne peut pas exister sans les finances publiques saines. Un État fort est d'abord un État crédible. Notre pays, Madame la Présidente, a toujours su se relever lorsque les circonstances l'exigeaient, à plusieurs reprises dans notre histoire. Les Mauriciens ont démontré leur capacité à faire preuve de résilience, d'unité et de courage. Depuis l'indépendance, notre histoire démontre que la population de Maurice a toujours été à la hauteur de ses responsabilités durant les moments les plus difficiles. Aujourd'hui encore, nous devons faire ce choix, le choix de la responsabilité plutôt que celui du déni, le choix de réforme plutôt que celui de l'immobilisme et le choix de l'avenir plutôt que celui de la facilité. Je suis convaincu, Madame la Présidente, que Maurice possède tous les atouts nécessaires pour réussir cette nouvelle étape de son développement. Nous avons aujourd'hui des institutions solides. Le diaspora, comme je le mentionnais, ont des talents remarquables. Ce budget, Madame la Présidente, ce n'est pas un ensemble de mesures financières, c'est un engagement vers le futur, vers l'avenir. Un engagement vers notre jeunesse, envers les travailleurs, envers les familles mauriciennes et surtout envers les générations qui nous succéderont. Nous leur devons des finances publiques assainies, une économie plus compétitive, un peu plus forte, plus juste et plus prospère. C'est dans cet esprit que le gouvernement sollicite aujourd'hui l'approbation de cette honorable Assemblée avec confiance dans notre pays, avec confiance dans notre peuple et avec la certitude que les choix responsables que nous faisons aujourd'hui permettront à Maurice de bâtir un avenir plus solide demain. This budget, Madam Speaker, is not about doing nothing and now allowing our country to continue to drift into the abyss. This budget is about reversing the downhill spiral that we've been in. It is about securing the future. It is about building the bridge to the future. With these words, I commend the bill to the House.
I need someone to second. Who's seconding the motion? Yes. Thank you. The question is that the Appropriation 2026-2027 Bill, number 9 of 2026, be read a second time. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Reply. À cause des plis ici, là. I will make an announcement first. Before going down, I'll make an announcement. Honourable members, before we proceed with the Committee of Supply, I wish to inform the House that, consistent with established practice, the whips have agreed on an indicative allocation of time for the examination of the various estimates of expenditure under their respective programme codes. I will exercise some flexibility when the need arises. This is what we did last year. For the orderly and smooth conduct of proceedings, we shall consider the estimates page by page. I also wish to draw the attention of honourable members to Standing Order 73.3, which provides that discussion at committee must be confined to the details of the programme, sub-programme, or item of expenditure under consideration, and not to the general principles of government policy and administration, which we have just done. I appeal to honourable members and honourable ministers to be concise in their interventions and replies. Moreover, honourable members are further informed that the votes pertaining to the centralised services of government will be taken out of turn immediately after the committee will have considered the votes of expenditure for the Ministry of Finance. I thank you for your attention, and I rely on your cooperation for the smooth conduct of the exercise. Okay. Yes. Are we ready? Yes. Oui, mais je dois retirer les lunettes pour pouvoir lire.
Office of the President, Program Code 0101,
Yes.
Presidency Affairs.
Question 1. The question is that the sum of 129,100,000 rupees for program code 0101 Presidency Affairs stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Okay. Office of Vice President. Oui, il faut m'aider.
Office of the Vice President, Program Code 0102, Vice Presidency Affairs.
The question is, if anybody wants to speak, I can't see you very well because I removed my glasses, but you just raise your hand, somebody will tell me. Or you can say, Madam Speaker, I will hear. Yes, Honorable Member. We are on Office of Vice President?
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Clarification on at page 5, 22,900, decimal 011. Secretariat of Retired Vice President.
011.
May we know the modalities
Okay.
of the Secretariat of Retired Vice Presidents? How it works, the modalities?
Policy about retired? You're asking me about policy for retirement?
The modalities.
Modalities. What are the conditions? What are the modalities? It's not a matter of policy. How it works.
Of retirement.
Speaker.
Yes,
The
I
modalities.
hear you.
So what is the allowance for? Can we know? What are we paying? What
Okay.
are the modalities?
Prime Minister.
Decimal 011, please. Ça
Oui,
rappelle
il faut-
modalities.
on vient de
Yes.
commencer. Allons prendre ça bien, s'il vous plaît. On vient de commencer. Prime Minister, can you find it? It's 011. It's the Personal Secretariat of Retired Vice President. Modalities.
Yes.
Provision,
Yes.
the provision is for payment of monthly allowances for telephone bills, local calls, air tickets, medical checkups, expenses, surgical intervention, if required, for 3 retired vice presidents. Provision is also made for a retired vice president to employ a clerk and a typist and an office attendant at government cost.
C'est bon? Yes? All right? Okay, let's carry on. Okay, the question is that the sum of 23,800,000 rupees for program code 0102 Vice Presidency Affairs stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. National Assembly. That's us.
National Assembly, Program Code 0103, Parliamentary Affairs.
Yes. Tell us the page and the item.
Yes, I wanted to know at page 9,
Okay?
decimal 31122, decimal 824. The
Page
live-
9. One moment. Once we go to page 9, we're not coming back on the other pages. Okay? Page 9, yes.
Yes.
Il faut qu'on prenne notre rythme. Allez,
Yes.
allez-y.
31122, decimal 824. The
Yes.
studio for Parliament TV.
Yes,
Do we know what
Live
this is about?
broadcasting.
Yes.
of course. Yes, Prime Minister, can you reply?
It's for acquisition of equipment for live broadcasting for studio for Parliament TV. The provision is made for phase 2 of the Parliament TV
Exactly.
channel, which will expand its scope.
Yes, for the moment, if I may, I'll help. Yeah, am I allowed to do that? No, c'est important. For the moment, we're only seeing you like this. But there is a second phase coming when we will be doing a little bit more than that, like in France and in England. Okay? Next. So the question is that the sum of 366 million rupees for program code 0103, Parliamentary Affairs, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Yes.
Electoral Supervisory Commission, Electoral Boundaries Commission, Program Code 0104, Supervision of Electoral Activities and Review of Electoral Boundaries.
Yes. The question is that the sum of 3,400,000 rupees for Program Code 0104, Supervision of Electoral Activities and Review of Electoral Boundaries, and part of the schedule. Aye, yes. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Office of the Electoral Commissioner, Program Code 0105.
Question is that the sum of 448,500,000 rupees for Program Code 0105 Electoral Services, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Judicial and Legal Service Commission, Program Code 0106.
Yes, the question is that the sum of 3 million rupees for Program Code 0106, recruitment and promotion of judicial and legal officers, and part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
The Judiciary, Program Code 0107.
The question, yes, yes.
With regards to page
Which page?
20, page 20, the indicators, disposal of cases, the KPIs for the program heading, percentage of cases disposed. May I know?
KPIs, yes?
May I know the breakdown, total number of ongoing cases, civil and criminal, as at now, the end of the financial year?
I will have to table, Madam President. I will table it.
Can I ask another question,
Okay.
since the Prime Minister will
While
provide?
the Prime Minister's getting.
May I know also the number of cases ongoing with provisional charges having been launched?
Do we
You
have
will,
that
you will
one?
have in your
I will not be
breakdown.
able to give you, I will have to ask.
Est-ce qu'on a ça dedans?
Yes.
Hold your horses a bit. Yeah, but hold your horses a bit. Let us get the answers. Can we get the answers? Prime Minister will table. Okay, ask me. Okay, another question.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. Madam Speaker,
Page.
yes, it's with regards to page number 21, transcription software. 31132.801, transcription software.
let me find it first. 21,
132 is capital expenditure. Page
Yeah,
21,
capital.
decimal 801, at the bottom of the page.
bottom of the page, acquisition of software.
Yes, may we have the modalities of the transcription software from the Prime Minister? The details, to put in another word?
Uh,
Are you able to give us that?
I can give you
Software?
details later. I will have to, but I know it's for procure transcription software to allow to transcribe audio recordings of case proceedings
Of cases.
in English, French, and Creole, Norwegian
Wow.
Creole language. That is one.
Very good. Interesting. You got it, huh? Yes, the question is that the sum of 928 million rupees for Program Code 0107, Administration and Delivery of Justice, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Program Code 0108.
Question is that the sum 223 million rupees for Program Code 0108, Criminal Advisory and Litigation, stand part of the schedule. Give me time. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. We better do it the proper way, please. The ayes have it.
Public Service Commission and Discipline Forces Service Commission, Program Code 0109.
Question is of the sum of 160 million rupees for Program Code 0109, Public Service and Discipline Forces Service Affairs, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Public Bodies Appeal Tribunal, Program Code 0110.
Question is of the sum of 24,100,000 rupees for Program Code 0110, Determination of Appeals, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Office of Ombudsman, Program Code 0111.
Question is at the sum of 22,100,000 rupees for Program Code 0111, Protection Against Maladministration in the Public Sector, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
National Audit Office, Program Code 0112.
Yes? Question? Yes? Yes, I thought so. Yeah.
Yes. Page 39, Madam Speaker. We've got to sub-program
39.
011201, regularity.
One moment. 0. Where is it on the page? Up?
It's the sub-program 011201,
Yes.
regularity audit.
What would be your?
Yes, on the KPI. It's a question of KPI.
KPI.
Yeah,
yes.
so with regards to, may I ask the Prime Minister, with regards to the 83% KPI target that has been met for financial statements and of statutory bodies and local authorities submitted and audited within the prescribed statutory deadline, may we know from the Honourable Prime Minister, with regards to the 17% that have not respected the deadline, the actions taken under enforcement actions taken for those 17.
No, I can't allow this. You have to speak on the budget, not on the actions taken,
But
etc.
it is the KPI. 17% that are out of the that have not complied. I want to know.
Can
It
you
is part
tell-
of the KPI for them to comply. So I want to know what has been done.
It seems to me,
Only I can't give up, it's the National Audit Office who does all this.
yes, you'll find out. In due course, in due course. Okay. The question is that the sum of 218,500,000 rupees for Program Code 0112, External Audit Services, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Employment Relations Tribunal, Program Code 0113.
Question is that the sum of 33 million rupees for Program Code 0113, Industrial and Employment Dispute Resolution, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Local Government Service Commission, Program Code 0114.
Yes? Leader of the Opposition.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. Can I ask the Honourable Prime Minister,
On which page, please?
page 47,
47, yes?
who is the new chairperson of the LGSC? And
okay.
can you also give the names of the members of the LGSC?
Yeah, Human Resources. Chairperson and members. You have their names?
Yeah, the chairperson is being finalized with the president, so I'm not at liberty unless the president confirms it. I think it probably will be writing to you, I think. So the names, I can give you the names, I'll get the names.
On n'entend pas très bien. Oui, il y a un micro qui ne marche pas? Oui.
Ce travail-là, ce travail.
Okay, that's better, yeah. So you will,
You're talking
one,
about the LGSC, huh? The chairperson is Mr. Kuten Ipepemal. And the members are Mr. Siunap, Mr. Oler, and Mr. Passantrai.
yes? Yes, yes?
The same issue. Can we know the allowances paid to the chairperson and also to the other members, please?
The chairperson salary is 157,000 monthly. As for the commissioner, it's 73,800 monthly.
Okay, yes. Question is at the sum of 62,800,000 rupees for program code 0114, local government service affairs, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
National Human Rights Commission, program code 0115.
Yes,
Madam Speaker, with regards to
Page?
page 49,
49, yes.
the KPI for program 0115, protection and promotion of human rights. Percentage of cases resolved within 1 year. May we have from the Prime Minister, may he provide to the House a breakdown of the cases, the nature of cases that have been resolved, the nature of the complaints that have been resolved, firstly. Secondly, the number of successful convictions secured. You will eventually come back with but
Yes, yes, all right.
Permettez-moi, Madame la Présidente, permettez-moi d'avoir une clarification parce qu'éventuellement cela reviendra à nous. Est-ce que nous allons devoir répondre pour les items, les dotations qu'on vote ou pour les policy decisions que l'honorable membre veut savoir? Il faudra, j'ai pas encore terminé, excusez-moi.
Il n'a pas fini.
Ouais. Mais donc, c'est important d'avoir cette clarification et si c'est permis dans le committee of supply d'avoir d'expliquer les policy
J'ai
decisions.
déjà dit au début.
Ouais, mais moi aussi
Pourquoi
j'ai
on
bien
est
compris,
là?
mais je suis étonné que l'honorable membre n'arrive pas à comprendre cela.
Madame la Présidente, puis-je? Madame la Présidente,
Oui,
ce sont des décisions administratives.
oui.
The KPI deals with cases that have been resolved. It is the right of this House to know the breakdown of the cases, the categories of cases. It's got nothing to do with policy. And I'm surprised that this seasoned member is trying to raise this issue now.
Non, c'est ni l'un ni l'autre en fait. C'est pas tout à fait policy, mais est-ce que le Premier ministre peut dire ça lui? Vous avez? Oui. Non. Le Premier ministre veut répondre. Le Premier ministre veut répondre. Allez. Hein? It's a point. I can't. Si tout le monde parle, moi, qu'est-ce que je fais? Je ne vais pas partir pour l'instant là. Hein? Mais si vous me poussez à bout, vous savez comment je fais. Vous préférez order you out? Non. Allez-y.
Yeah. Donc, I refer the House to section 73, subsection 3 of the standing orders. I'll quote.
I already spoke.
But it also says, let me quote, discussions at the committee shall be confined to the details of their expenditure contained in the program, sub-program, or item of expenditure, and shall not refer to the general principles of government policy and administration.
Madam Speaker, this Parliament voted for the performance-based budgeting. We are being given KPIs to vote on. How can we not know the breakdown of those KPIs? There's nothing to hide. The Honourable Prime Minister will easily get that information. There's nothing
Okay,
to hide.
first of all, Honorable Damri, you're just repeating what I said earlier, okay? First of all, so we're losing time. And the Prime Minister is happy to give that information. It's about human rights. Let's have the information. Yes, please, Prime Minister.
The number of complaints which have been received from the 1st of July to the 18th of June of this year is 546. From 437 of those have been resolved. And so about 80% of the cases have been resolved.
Oui, on ne peut pas savoir exactement sur quel. You can put a question on that. Yeah. Yes, that is a good answer. But on ne peut pas aller dans chaque détail. Vous vous rendez compte si on fait ça? Mais vous avez le droit de venir avec des questions parlementaires. Oui, bon, allez, on garde notre calme. Next one, National Human Rights. Yes. National Human Rights Commission, we're coming back. The question is at the sum of 300,000 rupees for program code 0115, protection and promotion of human rights, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Office of Ombudsman.
Yeah.
Office of Ombudsperson for Children, program code 0116.
Question is at the sum of 22,700,000 rupees for program code 0116, protection of the rights and interests of children, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Complaints Commission, program code 0117.
Question is at the sum of 17 million rupees for program code 0117, investigation into complaints against police officers, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Yes? Yes?
Page 53, with regards to 0117, investigation into complaints against police officers. May we know for the last financial year, number of charges laid against, following complaints, following investigation that is, charges laid against accused parties.
Charges, eh? No, not charges. Number of cases.
When an investigation is completed, it's obviously translated into a charge. So this is how we measure it.
No, you do.
How else? Well, the Attorney General perhaps can help.
I can tell you about the cases, number of cases received,
Yes.
number of cases disposed, and number of cases still under investigation.
Yes, that you can give.
The number of cases that has resulted in prosecution because it is an investigative authority.
Do you have that one?
That I will have to table because the investigation is still ongoing.
Still-
I will have to table.
No, he
I
wants
will
the
have to
one that are
table this.
over. Over.
Well, 5,646 are the number of cases that have been received. Of those, 3,320 have been disposed. And the rest, that is 2,426, are still in the
Still under
investigation.
investigation.
Could the Prime Minister, for the sake of this exercise, could the Prime Minister seek the information and provide that to the House with regards to the 3,000 cases that have been completed, the investigation that have been completed, how many have resulted in actual prosecutions?
Okay, well, you can provide that
I will have to
later.
ask the police, yeah.
Later. Okay, the question is that the sum of 17 million rupees for program code 0117, investigation into complaints against police officers, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Office of the Ombudsperson for Financial Services, program code 0118.
The question is at the sum of 16,500,000 rupees for program code 0118, protection of consumers and of financial services, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Financial Crimes Commission, program code 0119.
Question is at the sum of 475 million rupees for program code, yes, 0119, combating financial crimes, yes, yes,
He has a question.
okay, yes.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the House be provided with a salary of the with the salary of the newly appointed director?
Page. It is. One moment. You should tell us. It's human resources. Human resources, right? Yes, here. Non. Mais non, c'est pas ça, ça.
Madam Speaker, it is on page 59, item 26, grants, and my question relates to staff cost, that is item 26313.164.
En bas, complètement. Financial Crimes Commission, right? Staff costs, is that what you want? Honorable Leader? Okay. Okay, so newly appointed director.
Yeah, I can tell you, his monthly salary is 261,165 rupees.
C'est ça que vous avez
The
demandé?
You asked for the chairperson, no?
Director.
For the director, I don't have the figure here. I know for the chairperson, but I'll get it, I suppose.
No? Yes, Honorable Values. Wait for a while.
In fact, he is the director.
Oh, he's the director, yeah.
Can I ask with regards to page 59, with regards to program 0119, combating financial crimes? I'd like to ask the Prime Minister with regards to asset recovery unit, number of applications for attachment orders. May we know from the Honorable Prime Minister, we see that there's 25 assets that have been, for which an attachment order was obtained. May we know if any of these have been realized, and if so, the revenue generated through realization of assets seized?
That I would have to ask for the information, Madam President.
You don't have it right now, okay. So we take note, huh? Okay? Okay. Question is at the sum of 475 million rupees for program code 0119, combating financial crimes, 10 part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Prime Minister's Office, program code 0201.
Question is at the sum of 2,015 million rupees for program code 0201, Prime Minister's Office, 10 part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Mr. Yes, well, yes.
May I ask on, is there someone else? No?
Yes.
It's okay.
Why not? Go.
64,
On peut vous écouter.
à l'item 22.120.017, legal fees, il y a une augmentation considérable de 20 millions.
Quelle page, s'il vous plaît?
64.
64.
On pourrait avoir plus de détails sur les raisons de cette augmentation.
Legal
En quoi
fees.
consistent ces legal fees et à
Legal
qui
fees.
sont-ils payés, s'il vous plaît?
Legal fees? Legal fees.
Legal fees, the provision has been made to cater for payment to external lawyers for advice to provide in respect of Chagos Archipelago, and also reimbursement of reasonable out-of-pocket expenses by these external lawyers, including travel and hotel accommodation, when the meetings were held in Mauritius.
Yes. Did you want to say something, Honorable Débats? Yes?
Page 64, 22,900, decimal 985. Management and surveillance of Chagos Archipelago, the marine protected area. May we know how the 30 million rupee is planned to be dispersed?
Management is very important.
It will have to, it depends on whether the treaty is ratified first.
Yes. Ms. Berger, yes? I'm sorry, Honorable.
À la page 65, l'item 31.122, décimal 814, l'acquisition de Aircon. On passe de 4 millions à 20 millions. Est-ce qu'on pourrait avoir plus de détails sur cette augmentation?
This is for, they have to acquire acquisition of air conditioning equipment and also heating, ventilation of the air conditioning system. The whole, it's, when they say Prime Minister's Office, is the whole area, the building.
The whole building. Yes. Yes, Honorable Débats.
Speaker, with regards to page 66. May we turn the page or?
C'est bon, là, c'est toujours la même chose. 66.
Yes.
Which item?
With regards to 66, 22,900, 014, hospitalities and ceremonies.
Yes, okay, 014.
May we have the details of the disbursements for the last financial years, the number of events held and the specific
40 000.
disbursements.
1 million, of course. C'était bien 40 000. 40 millions.
Yeah, first of all, these are for medals, 20,054,581. For state banquet, the state visit of the President of the Republic of Seychelles on the National Day, the state visit of President Macron. So that came to, for the banquet, it was 5,131,907. For President Macron, it was 3,829,570. And the use of the state lounge, the accommodation and all other expenses, that is cultural shows and the floral decorations and so on.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Chair. I'll refer the Prime Minister to page 66, item number 21110.005, extra assistance. There is an increase this year. Can we be provided with the names of advisors at the level of the Prime Minister's office, their salaries, and if ever there are advisors on a pro bono basis, can we have their names also, Madam Chair?
Would that concern advisors, extra
In the
assistance?
past, Madam La Présidente, in the past, everybody was an advisor. So we changed this. You can't have somebody they're doing extra assistance to specific services, but they were put under the column of special advisors. So people think the Prime Minister has so many advisors. In fact, it's not the case. So that is why it's been separated.
It's split now. So what was your question?
My request, can we be provided with a list? of those
Haven't we got
persons?
that before in the House? I think you put a question before and you got the list. We want to know the increase, not the names. The increase. Because we've already got the names. Wait. Okay. Non, je vais passer la parole là.
I can circulate the
Can you
names. I can
circulate?
circulate the names.
Yeah, circulate, because we are running out of time. Honorable Joanna Béranger, please.
Sur le même item soulevé par l'honorable Duval, à la page 66, l'item 22 900, décimal 014, Hospitality and Ceremonies. En fait, dans les estimates qui nous avaient été donnés l'année dernière, c'était une somme de 25 millions qui avait été allouée pour l'année à venir et les 3 prochaines années. Cette somme a été augmentée pour devenir 40 millions dans les estimates que nous avons cette année. Peut-on savoir qu'est-ce qui est prévu et pourquoi il y a cette augmentation et qui sont les chefs d'État qui viendront nous visiter? C'était une somme allouée de 25 millions. Elle est passée de 25 millions à 40 millions. Dans les estimates de l'année dernière, c'était une somme allouée de 25 millions. C'est passé à 40 millions. J'essaie d'être claire, mais...
Sorry, what number?
We're still on hospitality and ceremonies.
Yes, hospitality and ceremonies.
Madam Speaker, there were state banquets, state visit for President Macron, state banquet for the President of...
Non, pour l'année à venir, that's what.
L'année à venir. Dans les estimates de l'année dernière, c'était une somme de 25 millions qui avait été allouée pour l'année à venir. Mais cette somme a été révisée à 40 millions. Peut-on savoir pourquoi?
Parce que l'année dernière, on a dépensé plus. Alors ça, on a fait la provision pour ça.
Next year. You understood? Yes, I think we got it. Yes. Are we all right now? Because we've done 5 minutes under this same item, 68. Yes, carry on.
Yeah, may I ask the Prime Minister, the Honourable Prime Minister, 22,900 on page 68.
30?
Decimal 910.
22,900.
Running cost of security unit.
Which item?
22,900
security unit.
Decimal 910.
910. 22,900, 9.910.
Yes. There
Running
is-
cost of security unit, 30,000 last year. Million, of course. I wish there were thousands. 30 million, 37 million, right?
Yes, so the question is, there is a considerable increase for this coming financial year. May we know the reasons for that increase?
It's about security matters because we're relooking at the whole security, including at the airport, and this is what we're doing.
Yes.
The security unit, can the Prime Minister enlighten the House? What is the security unit exactly? Is it his security? Are we talking about officials' personal security, or what is the security unit?
State security, of
Very
course.
generally, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not sure
the
you can do that.
expenses related to counter-terrorism unit. We're setting up this counter-terrorism unit. When we
Okay.
set up, we have to purchase equipment, you have to meet operational costs of the unit. That's part of it. There's the running cost of the security unit as well. And then then they have conferences and seminars, and as well as basically that.
We hear security unit. I want to understand, what is that security unit? Is
It
it
exists
is
already.
it the VIPSU? Is it, what is it?
Well,
It's
Just tell him what.
no.
Just tell him what the-
Counter-terrorism is another item. Don't try and. It's a very. There's no
I'm
pun
not
intended.
trying anything.
Not you, Madam Speaker. Behind. They are answering for the Prime Minister. It's not counter-terrorism. It is security unit. My question: can
Dude,
he
repeat,
elaborate
I've got
on the
it.
security unit? It is too
Yes,
general.
is it possible or is it secret?
No, it includes counter-terrorism unit. That's part of security. That's why I mentioned counter-terrorism unit.
It's a different item.
Which item are you talking about?
Decimal 910. 37 million.
190.
Counter-terrorism is 909.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were asking.
910 is running cost of security unit.
Yeah, there is a national security advisor here who's also in the security unit. First of all, there is him. He's responsible for that security division. Is responsible to enhancing national security and protecting the territorial integrity of Mauritius. They have to formulate guidelines on security matters. They coordinate national security matter with different other government agencies to provide views, and then they follow the recommendations, and also providing security to VVIPs.
Okay, Honorable Kiran, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is with regard this time to expenses related to counter-terrorism unit from 50 million to 90 million. Can we know? 68, same page.
No, but which item?
Item 2900 decimal 909.
Okay,
From
expenses.
50 millions to
Just the one
90
before.
millions. Can we know
Just
the
the one
reason
before.
for such a huge increase?
I just said, it's for the
Counter-terrorism.
counter-terrorism unit, which we are setting up. We are setting up this counter-terrorism unit. They have to purchase equipment, they have operational costs.
Okay. Yes, Honorable,
À la page 69, item 31 121 décimal 801, acquisition of vehicles. Pareillement, dans les estimates qui nous avaient été donnés l'année dernière, c'était un autre chiffre et il y a une augmentation de 23 millions dans l'allocation budgétaire pour l'année à venir. Peut-on savoir combien de véhicules vont être achetés et à qui sont-ils destinés?
There was a plan to, first of all, the vehicles haven't been changed since the previous government were there, so we need to replace the vehicles. But also we were planning for the business conference that we were having with the United States. We have to acquire vehicles.
okay. Yes,
I think
Honorable
about 44, but I can't remember the exact number.
Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Chair. I refer the Honorable Prime Minister to page 68. Items
On est déjà page 69.
But
If you have no objection, on va dire les deux sont ensemble. I will allow you. But try and remember, once we finish the page, we're done. So come back.
Speaker, you need to tell us that that page is over.
Okay,
And we
I
know.
will do that.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I refer Double Prime Minister to page 68. Item number 22,900, .842 and .843, two new items.
Diaspora,
Yeah.
And
the other one
reception.
with migrants.
irregular
from
migrants.
Lagos.
Okay.
Can we be provided with more information? Thank you.
Migrants from Chagos, yes.
No.
No?
Irregular migrants.
Irregular migrants.
Yes.
Diaspora. 842 is diaspora. Expenses. C'est ça que je vois, moi. Irregular.
It's, first of all, so it's not Chagos, you're asking, yeah? It's not Chagos. It's not about Chagos. If you're asking about the diaspora, I take it, the Global Advisory Council, this is to serve as a platform to encourage greater participation from our diaspora and friends of Mauritius from overseas for our development. And the migration unit, in collaboration with the concerned stakeholders, is working on the setting up, they are setting it up, of a Diaspora Global Advisory Council.
Yeah? There were two items.
What's the other one?
The other item, yeah, irregular migrants.
You're speaking about the illegal migrants that we have already deported?
843.843, Prime Minister.
843.
Moi-même, j'ai du mal.
Oh, yeah, that is about the Chagos, in fact. There is a draft agreement between Mauritius and the UK providing for a migration protocol for the reception of irregular migrants. There are not many, there have been 4, if I remember properly, from Diego Garcia. The immigrant migrants brought to Mauritius would be the responsibility of the Mauritian state. Now that Great Britain, yeah, depending on the protocol, of course.
These are not Mauritians, of course. No. Vous avez compris? Parce qu'on connaît l'histoire. Oui, il y a un protocole. We've already done 15 minutes on this. Okay, so the question is at the sum of 2,015 million rupees for program code 0201, Prime Minister's Office. Stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Pay Research Bureau, program code 0202.
Question is at the sum of 46,600,000 rupees for program code 0202, pay and conditions of service. Stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Civil Status Division, program code 0203.
Question is at the sum of 148 million rupees for program code 0203, Civil Status Affairs. Stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Government Printing, program code 0204.
Yes, yes.
KPIs, page 70. Yes, page 70.
Page
70.
70. You know, told it.
Takes patience to answer calmly like this.
70.
70, it's the 4th time I'm saying this. 70. Because it takes patience all the time. They're saying page. They say, no, it's actually irritating. It's 70, 70.
We are already on government printing.
No, but I ask for patience. Equal Opportunities Commission.
Est-ce que je peux... C'est pas 2 minutes. Members, je vais perdre ma voix. Alors, we've already voted and we are now on government printing. I'm sorry, we missed you.
J'ai mis mon nom pour la page 70. Demandez, j'ai pas envie d'en
Non,
parler.
non, je sais pas. Tout ce temps-là, je vous ai donné la parole. Ne me rendez pas la vie difficile. We'll skip that one and try and follow what we're doing. Everybody try and follow, please. Government printing, I will say. Right?
Let's recall the page now.
Yeah, we have.
Please.
Vous savez ce qu'on va faire? I will call the page. Ah, moi je suis gentille, moi. Je suis gentille. Allez, government printing, page 84, 85. Government printing. Question is at the sum. Bon, chaque fois vous me mettez ça. Hein? Question is at the sum 233 million rupees for program code 0204. Government printing services. Stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Next. Page.
Rodrigues,
Allez, page 88.
Rodrigues and Outer Islands, program code 0205.
Question is that the sum of 6 billion, 9, chut! Hey, oh, j'entends plein de murmures. The question is that the sum of 6,982 million rupees for program code 0205, Rodrigues and Outer Islands, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Oui. Bon, mais là, on a fini ça. On a fini. Elle veut parler? On which one? On Rodrigues? Oui. La page est là. Page 91, c'est ça la page. Allez, dis.
Reform Institutions and Rehabilitation Code, Program Code 0206.
Page 91, okay? Right.
May I?
Yes?
Page 91. KPIs for the successful rehabilitation of offenders and children in probation institutions. May we know if in regards to the former and the latter, that is offenders and children in probation institutions, the rate of reoffending for the last financial year that has been registered?
Which one? I'm sorry. Outcome, page 91, successful rehab. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I will have to table, Madam Speaker, I will have to table it.
Okay. Okay, information is coming.
I could table it as well, but anyway, from July last year to May of this year, 23 probation orders and 275 community service have been issued. 87% of the probationers and commission workers have completed their community orders. The success rate of probation orders is assessed by evaluating I'm giving you the details of key factors, the offender's compliance, and also with the conditions, and then the extent to which the offender's criminologic needs have been addressed. And the success rate of the community service orders, again, is determined by the offender's regularity in attending the work site, the quality of work, the offender's behavior, and all this. And if you ask about the percentage of offenders, in fact, it's about 70%. From what I see. No, sorry, not reoffending. Those who have successfully completed their rehabilitation. So it's 30%.
At a later stage, the precise, if you can.
I doubt whether it concerns reoffending.
70%.
Non, je sais, mais c'est dans le même.
Dans l'esprit, mais c'est pas reoffending.
But if it's 70%, means 30% have been referred. I think, I'll get you on this.
Yes. percentage is very high, in fact. On est à page 92 là, hein? Ça, j'ai fini? J'ai pas appelé encore. Question? C'est toujours la même chose. OK. On bouge la page 92, 93, 94 maintenant. Now I put the question. Is that the sum of 143 million rupees for program code 0206, rehabilitation of offenders and children in probation institutions, stand part of the schedule? Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Forensic Science Laboratory, Program Code 0207.
Page 94. Yes?
The leader of the question.
Leader? Yes? Yes?
95.
94.
Page 94, okay?
Yes, thank you. Page 94. KPI, exactly. Credible scientific evidence to support investigation. Madam Speaker, may I ask, Chairman, may I ask the Honorable Prime Minister for the last financial year, out of the 69% of cases received and analyzed, may we know for which the breakdown of the type of dangerous drug that was successfully analyzed within that year, and for those that weren't successfully analyzed, what the breakdown again of the drugs. So we have a comparative, can do a comparative.
I believe we don't have that information at the moment, Madam Speaker, but maybe
Not
we'll forget to
surprised.
circulate it.
Right, but in due course we'll provide. Keep all these issues. Yeah, of course. 95, page 95.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I refer the Honourable Prime Minister to page 95, item 21,110.001, salary and allowances. Can the House be provided with the monthly salary of the Director of the Forensic Science Laboratory and any allowances drawn also? Can we be provided with that information? Thank you.
Director FSL.
Yeah. The remuneration is, just make sure I give you the right figure, 419,500 monthly salary. That special, there is a special all-inclusive allowance as well of 305,500 per month.
Yes? Okay? Yes? Pardon. Yes?
Page 96, item 31,112.019, construction of a forensic science laboratory. Can we have the cumulative expenditure up to June 2026? And can we know the reason of a change in the project value?
No, why the value has been changed? That's what you're asking?
Il était de 850 millions, il est devenu 875 millions. Dans l'estimates qu'on avait eu l'année dernière, le project value était 850 millions.
I know.
Et si possible, d'avoir le cumulative expenditure.
Yeah, I can give you the detail, but I know by memory that they have been acquiring new equipments, especially for the new drugs that they want to analyze, and also they have been asking for expertise advice. But I can give you the details.
Okay. Good. The question is at the sum of 585 million rupees for program code 0207 forensic science services, and part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Page 97.
National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Center.
97, 98, okay?
The Honorable Prime Minister, with regards to item 31,122, machinery and equipment. May we be provided with the list of equipment that is presently allocated at the NDRRM? C?
IT
Equipment.
equipment.
I said 31 capital expenditure, 31122 other machinery and equipment, And I asked for the list currently allocated of items falling under that I-10 code, other machinery and equipment, the breakdown of the equipments, machinery, etc., currently allocated to the NDRRMC.
I want to make sure that we're talking about the same. You're asking about the other machinery and equipment? About the required IT equipment, mainly IT equipment, and there's a decrease due to equipment donated. Equipment has been donated by the Indian Ocean Commission under the EU-funded project. So that is why it has been.
It's only the IT equipment.
And also there is the enhancement of the video conferencing system in the main conference room, which has cost 600,000 rupees. It's for video conferences. There's also an implementation of Microsoft 365 Business Premium Cloud Services, which has cost 400,000 rupees.
If I may clarify, I require for the benefit of the House, the inventory of the items, other machinery and equipment, the inventory which is allocated at the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Center. So the inventory, the Prime Minister may provide us with that list in due time.
No, but Honorable Duval, if I may be wrong, but it's the estimates concerns only acquisition of IT equipment.
If I may, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
There is provision for the last financial year, and assets, equipment have been purchased. I now require the updated list.
You'll provide, okay. Can we carry on? The leader is going to put a question, yes?
Thank you, Chair. I'll refer the Honorable Prime Minister to page 98, item number 22,900, other goods and services, of which 0.903, that is awareness campaigns. Can we know how many campaigns were carried out in the last financial year?
How many campaigns is difficult for me to say, but I know there has been an increase for an inclusive and multi-platform. Maybe I'll get it. There is a provision to cater for an inclusive and multi-platform awareness. That's what I was saying. Strategy for awareness campaign.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Toujours à la page 98, l'item 2220, décimal 008, fees to consultant. Peut-on savoir en quoi consistent ces fees? Pourquoi est-ce qu'il y a eu besoin d'un consultant et qui est le consultant?
For the consultants, provision has been made for consultancy fees to develop a GIS-based national logistics database that will integrate the logistics resource data across public and private sectors. Also, there is a fee for the National Emergency Operations Command, but that's not what she asked. What the Honorable Member asked.
All right. C'est qui le consultant? Prime Minister, you have a name?
They haven't appointed a consultant yet, but they will appoint.
Okay, the question is that the sum of 33 million rupees for program code 0208, National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management, then part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Mauritius Meteorological Services, program code 0209.
Page 100. Page 100. Question is that the sum of 347 million rupees for program code 0209 Meteorological Services, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Yes?
Yes, under
Honorable
the
Duval.
page 100, under the general program heading, program 0209 Meteorological Services. May we have from the Prime Minister the accuracy for the last financial year of weather forecasts by the meteorological services? Percentage accuracy. And You will know that it used to be a KPI, if I'm not mistaken.
Premier ministre,
I can
laissez le Premier ministre,
tell
il
the
aime
honorable
ça.
opposition, in no country you can get it 100% right. Look what has happened in Europe. So it's never 100%. Yes, I'll have to give it to you.
Moi, vous avez fait rire tout le monde, c'est bien. Allez, page 101. Page 102. Yes. Yes, there's a question.
Thank you. Page 102, item 31122, decimal .999, subpart B, hydrometer project, grant-funded Green Climate Fund. As Speaker, being given Rodrigues has a higher sea level rise per year as per some information about around 6.4 millimeter per year. May I know from the Honorable Prime Minister whether this project takes on board Rodrigues, especially to take records data from Port Maturin?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Good. You have a question.
Yes, on the same item, Chair, can the Honorable Prime Minister provide the House with more information on the Hydromet project?
Hydromet.
It's an automatic
The same item.
rain gauge and weather station in its database, and also there's base purchase and that includes HF radio, tide gauge station, wave rider, humidity chamber, hydrogen leakage detector, and a power meter for the radio station.
Thank you, everybody. Question is at the sum of 347 million rupees for program code 0209, meteorological services. Stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
External communications.
Page
program-
105.
Program code 020.
Je vais trop vite.
Program code 0220.
Okay, page 105. 104? Okay, 104. Pourquoi en bon, j'ai dit 105? 104,
With regards
okay.
to 104 program outcomes, 0220, policy and strategy for port and airport development.
Ici.
Indicator, average service time spent at berth hours per ship. May we know from the Honorable Prime Minister, we see that the target has not been reached for the budget, the last financial year that was budgeted. May we know if there are any reports that have been communicated to him and that can be made available to the House, which have established the regression in meeting the targets, but also in past performance as well.
I can't remember, there was a report sent to me, but I know that there are some of these offloading equipment has failed, and we have to replace them. And it doesn't say more than that. It says digitalization and automation of port operations and modernizing of container and facilities, which some of them are not working.
Same question, but for the airport.
Airport.
There is the same issue
Same issue.
of regression on target and performance.
Because even the connections to the airplanes, that also we're having problems. They're all going to have to be changed. But they're repairing them, because the idea is that if we have some agreement, there might be emergencies looking for agreements, that might be part of the package. And an amount of I see here 2.7 billion would then be invested to expand, modernize, and enhance the efficiency of the airport.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Still on that page 104, 020, policy and strategy for port and airport. We are voting a sum, we are being asked to vote an additional sum of 1.2 billion rupees. May we know from the Honorable Prime Minister what is behind the policy and strategy which involves this increase? So how the 2.3 billion, and especially the increase of 1 billion, is going to go into that policy, if you can explain it.
Page 104. 104. C'est le summary, ça, hein? C'est un summary, ça. Je crois que la réponse, on l'a déjà. On a déjà la réponse. C'est un summary. Yes. 106. 106. Page 106.
10.
Yeah, please. Ça va.
106, Madam Speaker, with regard to modern, safe and efficient aviation and port services, I'll refer the Honorable Prime Minister to the last item, provision of passenger facilitation services at Plaine-Corail Airport, Airport of Rodrigues Limited.
Rodrigue.
For 2025-2026, the target was 350,000 passengers, whereas what is recorded here as provisional number of passengers facilitated is only 299,531. Can we have answer why?
There was one airplane which had problems, had to be removed from so there were fewer airplanes.
Fewer airplanes, yes. Okay. 107. 108. 109. 110. 111. 112. No. 111. Oui, the question, si tout le monde me bouscule, je ne pourrai plus. The question is at the sum of 2,333,000,000 rupees for program code 0220, policy and strategy for port and airport development. We stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
External Communications, Program Code 0221.
Page 108. Yes, we went too far. External communication. Question is at the sum of 490 million rupees for program code 0221, Civil Aviation Services. Stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye, those against say no. Ayes have it. Sans place.
Police Service, Program Code 0230.
Page 113. Question, yes? Yes?
112.
112,
Yes.
yes?
0230.
Yes.
Law and order, crime rate per 1,000 population. May I ask the Honorable Prime Minister, with regards to the crime rate, may we know the inquiry completed in investigation of crimes? So the rate of inquiry completed for investigation of crimes for last year. Number of crimes reported, number of crimes for which have been investigated.
Oh,
No, Madam Speaker, the rate is 4.2, therefore it has been reported, right? We agree it has been reported. What I'm asking is, what out of these crimes reported, what has been the number of cases which investigation has been successfully completed?
rate. Yes.
I will have to circulate this because it's quite a long list you're asking. I will have to circulate it.
Yes, all right. The question is 113, yes? Yes?
115, page 115, s'il vous plaît.
115?
Oui, 115, Police Service.
Je n'entends pas. Est-ce que 114, quelqu'un a quelque chose? Non. 115, allez. 115. On est à 115 là, les amis. Allez. I'm listening. Yes.
22 900, décimale 973, expenses in connection with Safe City Project. Peut-on savoir combien de caméras sont fonctionnelles?
Safe City.
Can I ask the numbers?
Alors,
Page 115, item 22 900, décimale 973,
973.
expenses in connection with Safe City Project. Si on peut savoir le nombre de caméras fonctionnelles, opérationnelles.
I think it's coming with the answer because I don't have it with me. It doesn't say actually how many cameras are actually working. It says provision has been made for rental to Mauritius Telecom for installation of 4,000 surveillance cameras, over 2,000 intelligent video surveillance sites, traffic cameras, 375 intelligent surveillance sites. But that is not the
there's
question.
more coming. There's
The
more
question
coming.
is how many are actually, I'm told all cameras are operational.
Now operational. Now. Yes.
I have a few questions on that page, if you will allow. First, yes, the first being, may the Honorable Prime Minister tell us how many cameras have not yet been installed under the Safe City project as at date?
Not yet installed.
They have made, so I can give you the list. What has not yet been installed, the 157 actually have not yet been installed. 157. Yeah.
May I?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Still with regards to the Safe City project, may I know from the Honorable Prime Minister?
One moment. May I know what's the problem, Honorable Jaman? You were saying something. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Vous croyez que je suis né de la dernière pluie? Allez-y.
Chair, thank you. May I ask the Honorable Prime Minister, Safe City project still? Can the Prime Minister state the number of components that have been activated under the project, for which it was bought, that some, and which still, those components that are still not being activated? I have a question coming next week, but it's part of this exercise.
You had a question.
I have a question coming, so this is
You
why.
have a question coming on
You should,
that.
in fact, they have prepared the answer, but the components of the Safe City project, as you know, there is face recognition and other plate recognition, etc.
Let's wait for Tuesday.
May we
to get
know which components for which has already been paid but not yet implemented?
If you have it, you tell him.
I don't know the
But he's
details of which components. You're saying about components.
components.
I'll circulate it, okay.
Okay. Yes, leader.
Yes.
We don't dwell too long on that. Yes, carry on.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Page 115. I'll refer,
Oh, no.
I'll refer the Honourable Prime Minister to item 31112.049, construction of Mauritius Discipline Forces Academy. Can the Honourable Prime Minister report on progress, please?
All I know is that there has been, I remember there has been an unsuccessful tendering exercise. Therefore, the tender documents are being revised because it was unsuccessful. And payment is being made for a 10% advance payment to the selected bidder once you get the selected bidder.
Yes, one last question on that.
Bidder's already been selected.
Project. Yes. No, sorry, no. Not yet.
Okay,
Madam Speaker,
last question on this one.
Madam
Yes.
Speaker, may I ask the Honorable Prime Minister, with regard to the Safe City project again, the storage capacity of footage, can the Prime Minister state the storage capacity in terms of days, or weeks, or months of CCTV footage.
One moment. May I advise everybody to allow the Prime Minister to decide? If he cannot, he will tell us. Then if he goes too far, I'll stop him.
I remember myself, I've been asking this, normally it's 30 days.
Good. Now we go on to I'm going to put the question. Question is at the sum of 14,225,000,000 rupees for program code 0230 police services, 10 part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Prison Service Program Code 0240.
Page 133. One, 3, 4. Prison. 133, 134. Okay, the question is at the sum of 1,350,000,000 rupees for program code 0240 prison services, 10 part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Sphere of Finance Program Code 0250.
Page 142. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Quel one?
On ne peut pas faire. On a une soirée pour partir, vous nous excitez, bonheur. On a 14 milliards de roupies. On se vend d'avoir augmenté. Qu'on fasse l'examination, comment est-ce qu'on peut sauter de la page 118 et passer à autre chose?
Mais non.
On est arrivé à la page 140.
Mais je n'ai pas sauté. Excusez-moi. Je suis en train de faire page par page. C'est ce que j'ai fait.
Chair, you said you will take page by page.
This is
But at
exactly.
least you should let us know on which
This
page
is
you are.
exactly what I have done.
No.
J'ai sauté le bas.
Madame la Présidente, vous avez appelé le ministre de Finance. Ah non, écoute, qui était
Qu'est-ce qui
ça?
s'est passé? Écoute mon arrivée. Je crois qu'on va lever la séance et aller manger. Hein? Alors, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Montrez-moi ce qu'on fait. Moi, I am honorable member, please. I'm being guided and I'm following page by page as far as I remember. Let us find out. C'était quoi? On était
Put my question. I was on page 115.
Permettez-moi, Madame la Présidente, permettez-moi de revenir une clarification. Si on a fini de sauter la page, je peux comprendre qu'il est vendredi soir, il y a le happy hour. Mais c'est pas une question de bouger autant.
Non, mais il fait plus. Écoute, nous n'arrivons They all, one moment, let us try, everybody, and keep our heads. Let us keep our heads. Honorable. No, honorable member. Ma, come on. Stop it. Arrêtez, sinon, vous savez, je vais partir. Hein? Honorable member, please help me.
Yes.
I have already. No, listen to me. The police have already walked out.
Madam Speaker, if you say this, I am going. I am telling you now. If you say this, I am going.
Prime Minister, what would you like? Vous n'arrivez pas à suivre. Mais parce que vous n'avez pas suivi. Mais non. Mais voilà. On va couper la poire en deux. Non, on va couper la poire. Hein? Il n'y a pas de poire? Allez, dites-moi, on va essayer de faire le maximum qu'on peut pour que tout le monde soit happy. Sinon, on reste là à discuter, discutailler. C'est discutailler. Mais j'ai fait page par page. I'm guided. Et j'ai fait page par page. OK, dites-moi où, leader. OK. Tell me where you wanted to come back.
When I intervene, I was on page 115.
Let me give a chance. One moment. J'ai dit couper la poire en deux. I will let you come back, but the Prime Minister may not get the information. At least you will have said, and he will take note and reply. Allez, allez-y. Allez-y pour pas perdre du temps.
Madam Speaker,
On est chez
115.
118.
Yes, 118 is one of the many items of the police service. If the police service has gone and we've done only one item, then this role is pointless. This is going to be pointless. Nick, I called out last time that we should not be calling ahead like this at pages. You called 30 pages in advance.
Not
Now,
30.
the police service, should they be alerted, they would come back if they are really...
Non, ça je ne peux pas faire.
Ben, à ce moment-là,
Ça je ne peux pas faire. Je vous ai dit, je vais faire un geste. Vous posez la question, le Premier ministre va faire ce qu'il peut et nous avançons. Sinon, on reste là ou alors, moi aussi, je rentre chez moi. 118. Soyez...
pour avoir une clarification, parce que j'ai beaucoup de questions à poser sur la police.
Posez vos
Madame
questions.
la Présidente, j'ai beaucoup de questions à poser en détail. Si la police ne retourne pas, qu'on nous le dise maintenant pour que je prenne ma décision. Est-ce que la police va retourner ou pas?
Okay, we break. Let's break. Let us break. Then we will see. Eh oui, c'est mieux. C'est mieux, c'est mieux, c'est mieux. C'est mieux. Let us break. Let us break 1 hour. 1 hour. Huh? 1 hour. 1 hour. Personne ne boit en attendant, hein?